You're all excited because we have a Shovel Knight Dig any percent race between DavidTki and Luukie13. Take it away, you two.
All right. Hello, AGDQ 2023. I am DanTheVP, and I'm going to be co-commentating this race of Shovel Knight Dig, the latest platformer from Yacht Club Games, co-developed by Nithrome. I'm no stranger to Shovel Knight speedruns. I got to show off Pocket Dungeon at SGDQ 2022, and I'm just thrilled that we're back with more Shovel Knight action. I'm going to let everybody else introduce themselves, and we're going to jump into this run.
Hi, I'm MooMooAkai. I moderate the Shovel Knight speedrunning for the Treasure Trove video game on that Discord, and I've done quite a few Shovel Knight speedruns, including the Spectre of Torment run a little while ago. And I'm going to introduce our runners. Representing the latest in shoveling fashion from Europe, Luukie13.
Most of the Shovel Knights. Hi, I'm Luukie. And I'm currently second place on the leaderboard. On which most of the Shovel Knights. And I'm currently second place on the leaderboard.
And representing every dad in America, DavidTki.
Hi, I'm David. DavidTki, but just David is fine. And I usually speedrun whatever I feel like at any given moment. So as soon as I'm done with this race, I have no idea what I'm going to be playing next. I'm currently number 1 on the leaderboard, but this game's really random, so that may not mean a lot. Can you explain?
Yeah, so this is a roguelike platformer where our runners are going to be traveling down the mine, chasing Drill Knight, who has stolen Shovel Knight's treasure. And because it is a roguelike, they're going to take a couple of some options to make this run a little bit safer for them. First of all, as David is showing off, he's going to use the final guard armor to carry over an item from a previous run. So both of our runners have the Phoenix Feather, which is going to let them revive after defeat. They're also using an extra health, which is a accessibility option. And so that's going to let them kind of simulate what an ideal run would be and just make sure that they don't get the short end of the stick once RNG happens. So with that being said, Moo, you ready to take our runners down the well?
I am, but I did want to do just one more thing real quick. Luukie, would you mind moving on to the screen to the left and showing off the thing we talked about?
So when you normally jump on this is just a bouncing platform, you can get about this far. We have some tech. It'll get us a little bit further.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're using the ballistic armor, and this allows them to do a little bit of a flip in the air. That just means that they'll be able to get a little bit more height, a little bit more hang time. It's going to be very useful throughout the run. It's going to be their primary movement tech.
Yeah, and this ballistic armor is going to give them a couple of abilities we're going to see once they get this run started. Shovel Knight's main movement tech is digging. You know, he's kind of known for his shovel. The ballistic armor is going to let them spin to dig, and instead of having to dig every individual block through, they're going to be able to kind of fall through dirt, and it's going to happen quickly. It's going to break a couple of things in kind of the intended platforming. So just keep an eye on that as we're getting ready to start this run.
Sure thing.
All right, apologies for all of that. All right, we can get started. You guys ready to go?
Good to go.
On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so both of our runners here are going to start in the Mushroom Mines. This game has 4 sets of biomes, and each biome is going to have 3 stages in it. You always start out in the mines, and you're going to see this spin to dig immediately as we start here in the first level.
Yeah, so you're going to see some gears throughout the level. The gears are going to be something they're going to be trying to pick up throughout the run. Basically, it's going to allow them to recover at the end of the stage. The number of gears that they collect will determine the amount of health that they get from their checkpoints between stages.
right, everyone, just sit tight. We are just going to take a moment to reset the run here as we get ready. But hey, that means more time hanging out with me. So let's get cozy. Now, hanging out with me does mean one thing. It means that I'm going to be here hyping up Yakuza, so y'all know what you came for. We are going back to some Yakuza love, so hang on tight, everyone. But hey, this also gives you time to fill up your water and stretch your legs and whatever you need. But we are going to check in on our Yakuza donations. So y'all have been doing amazing work. We are getting close to $14,000 raised out of the $30,000 that we need, which means that we are almost halfway to unlocking that Super Boss Showcase. And because we have some time here, let's see that number go up. How early can we meet this Super Boss Showcase? Listen, we're all speedrunners here, right? This is a speedrunning event. We want to do things fast. So let's speedrun these donations and get them in as fast as we can to hit this Super Boss Showcase. We have a $50 donation from Majima Really Is Everywhere, who says, Kiryu-chan, what do you mean we haven't met the incentive to fight me? What are you doing? Go run that business of yours or win some mahjong matches. Get that money so we can fight for real. Thanks so much for that donation, Majima. We appreciate it. We also have a $10 donation from Kazuma Kiryu, who says, all right, Majima, if it is a fight you want, then I'll fight you. Thank you so much for your donation. Y'all are doing great. We have a $5 donation from Purple Losa, who says, first time donating for Yakuza, it's worth it. Really want to see the showcase. Same. And once again, I'll go through it really quickly. If y'all are wondering what this showcase is all about, let me tell you why it is so exciting. So the Super Boss Showcase is fighting the two toughest bosses in the game. So not only are we going to see the base run from our runner, we are also going to see them fight Final Majima, who's the most powerful form of Majima that you fight after getting Max Majima Everywhere rank, and Joe Amon, traditional series secret boss that's usually unlocked after finishing all side quests. So both of these fights will be on Legend difficulty. Both bosses will have their health and aggression fully maxed out. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds extremely challenging. And due to both the difficulty and the nature of these bosses, they will require using some moves that we don't get to show during the run itself. Now, that's pretty wild. So if you want more intense challenges, more GDQ, let's get those donations in. We are about to hit $15,000, which is our halfway point for the $30,000 that we need for that Super Boss Showcase. So let's get it in. In fact, we have a $555 donation from Adam W., who says, 111 tickets for the Yakuza train, please. Been playing through the series after seeing it on previous GDQs. I barely survived one Amon fight on normal difficulty, so I have to see this. Thanks to all at GDQ for another great event so far. Looking forward to the rest of the week. Now, I can't count out 111 tickets, but I'll just pretend I'm sending over the whole package. You'll have to believe me. Thanks so much for your donation, Adam. All right, and we have a $200 anonymous donation from Anonymous, there you go, who says, I have had several family members taken away because of cancer. Y'all do a fantastic thing with GDQ, and I watch every year. Keep up the great work. Here's to help with a great cause. Thank you so much, Anonymous. We appreciate your donation. All right, everyone. It sounds like we are once again ready to get back into Shovel Knight Dig. This will be an any % race between DavidTki and Luukie13. Take it away, you two.
All right, we're going to count it down and start from exactly where you guys are. Good luck. I hope you're both ready. Are you both ready?
Yep.
Possibly.
All right, unpause on 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and we are picked up right back in the Mushroom Mines, and both of our runners are basically synced up onto the second stage of this biome. And when we dropped off, Moo was mentioning these golden gears and how they're going to give our players access to some health. And that's a really important part of this roguelike. They're never going to have a huge health pool, but basically after every stage, they have an opportunity to heal. So they're not going to be intentionally damage boosting much, but when they're going to take some incidental damage or maybe even intentional damage, they know they're going to have a chance to heal.
Yeah, health is absolutely a resource in this run, so even if they don't need it to avoid all sources of damage taken, they're going to be going out of their way for small health pickups. Another benefit of the armor that they're using is that it allows them to just straight drop through the dirt. They don't have to pogo, which is normally something that you have to do. You can just kind of just drop through the dirt, which is a pretty nice benefit here.
Yeah, considering this is a prequel, I'm kind of disappointed Shovel Knight didn't remember how to spin to dig in his other games, but you know, we'll give him a pass here.
Oh, this would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
They are coming up on the first boss, though, Spore Knight, and Spore Knight is a pretty good introductory boss to the run. The arena will change every time they get up to this boss, and they're going to be fighting the boss vanilla style with only the armor.
Yeah, this armor gives them the ability to do a full point of damage to the boss, where Shovel Knight's base shovel attack would be half a point. It also gives them a little bit of iframe, so they're able to punish the boss a little bit more without taking damage. And we've got both our runners through. Luukie is on his first transition stage, and he's got the dream here. David did not get the dream. David is going to the Smeltworks, which is the not
David,
what he wants to
please.
see.
Oh man, I hope David gets really. Please, everyone, pray for David, because this is the one stage they both want to avoid. It has the auto scroller, one of the really long auto scrollers.
Yeah, luckily David is playing on the most recent version of the game, which gives him a lower chance to get the auto scroller. It's worth mentioning the second and the third set of biomes, the runners potentially have a choice of two, but you don't always get that choice. Sometimes you have a choice of one.
Ooh, Luukie already found the shop. Oh, but no food upgrades. So yeah, that's one of the only shops you're going to see them ever stop.
That's an auto scroller on the left. Going right.
Oh, okay. David avoided the auto scroller. And yeah, starting now in the second biome, you will see the runners hit some of these side rooms, specifically looking for extra health.
Not worth? I don't really know, but I mean, I wouldn't want to fight one of those little guys either. Warhorn is one of the really worth weapons to pick up. But those little sponge dudes deal an obnoxious amount of damage.
Yeah, Luukie grabbed an extra health there from that gastronomal. It's worth mentioning they grab these gears also because it's a big source of money, which lets them buy that health. And this is,
oh my god, a room of Steves. There's so many. I've never gotten that one.
Those are the only side rooms they go when pushing for PBs or world records as well, is trying to get that extra health.
Okay, David managed to. Ooh, nice! Oh, he got hit anyway. That was a good attempt.
I was really hoping.
That was so swag. I love that you just flipped out, rolled, pulled out the dagger, and then you got hit anyway. A for effort.
And David onto the third level of this biome for him. He will be facing Tinker Knight, which is a mandated 2-phase boss fight, and that's going to take him a little bit longer than Luukie, who will be seeing Mole Knight.
Oh my god, David, that was amazing movement. You managed to dodge. Okay, so whenever those guys explode, they ignite the dirt. He dodged the sign dagger while he was doing that.
And Luukie got another chance to buy some health. He is flush with health here, and he's going to be liking it. David is coming up to Tinker Knight, so Luukie's got some catching up to do. This is Tinker Knight's first stage. First phase, I should say. And now it's just a forced waiting.
This is an ideal layout for this.
Yeah, this is a rather good fight for Tinker Knight here. But Tinker Knight kind of mandates that you wait for him to pop out of his hole.
You can't really drop through the platforms on Tinker's Battleship Arena, right?
No, you can't.
Yeah, so having a nice simplistic layout was probably the best thing that David could have gotten. Ooh, looks like we're going to the Hive Knight stage next as well.
David is getting none of his preferred choices here. Luukie is coming up on the end of this stage. It should be noted that this dream stage David's in, both runners are going to get it twice. So they've both gotten it once this time. David is going to have a dream after this. Depending on what Luukie gets will depend on when his second dream is. And this is Mole Knight over on Luukie's side. And as I said, this is a prequel. We find out Mole Knight's OG drip is this lovely blue armor. I just have to say, I'm kind of preferential to this look.
Rocking an amazing pomp as well.
Yes.
David finally getting some extra health. Good stuff. Also, David, in the Hive Knight stage, is getting some of that living dirt, the stuff you have to tunnel through pretty quickly. Otherwise, it'll actually attack you while you're going through it.
Yeah, I really enjoy how this game just slowly incorporates more and more elements as you travel down the mine to just make it a little bit more difficult. And I can't say enough about how skilled the runners are, because there is a lot of damage to be had in this game from all kinds of sources. And the fact that they can use this armor and go this quick, a lot of times they're breaking the logic between these chunks, which are designed and stitched together. And the living dirt is a good example of them just going faster than the level even intended, because they're not going to get to the safe platforms that you're supposed to have to keep from taking damage from that dirt.
David so far hasn't been able to pick up, he got 1 extra health, and Luukie's sitting at 7. So it's still a fairly even race in terms of like the economy that the two have built up.
I did get the spike group
Luukie...
sabatons, luckily, which will make me immune to spike.
Oh, that's really good.
Just turn that hazard right off.
Yeah, so there are items that our runners can get that persist, and then there are relics, which would be kind of the sub-weapon they have up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Relics aren't going to get much use.
Those useful things that make the game easier and safe? Nah, they don't need that.
Yeah, the bug armor or the ballistic armor is just a bit too good for them to want to make use of too many of the relics. And the relics have limited uses, and you have to refill your magic, and so it's a bit time-consuming to try to make those work for this any percent run.
Ooh, gosh, I'm on the edge of my seat watching Luukie and David go through this dirt, and Luukie is up really low. Please.
David has got this mini boss stage, which is a really good stage to get on the 3rd level in the grub pit, because it is a really quick level, and he gets the horn. Any level you can just dig a lot in, our runners are going to love.
Doing it for the content.
Oh my god! Never didn't have it.
1 HP Luukie over here. David is coming into Hive Knight, which is another new addition to the Shovel Knight universe. He's going to make use of this horn to do some quick damage. Hive Knight's got a friend. It's going to see if that's going to give David any trouble here.
Just a little bit.
Nice job.
And David is through. Now he's got this guaranteed dream stage here, so he's going to be a little bit more until he gets into the final biome. Luukie just falling straight down in a good way. Luukie coming up to Hive Knight now.
And Luukie also pretty healthy, while David comes up on the last stage. Turn up the music. God, I love the gems.
And we're coming into Drill Knight Castle here, and I've got to point out the amazing pixel art graphics in this game. You get like double and triple parallax scrolling backgrounds as you're traveling down in Drill Knight's castle. Just between the music and between the graphics, just an all-around amazing job from Yacht Club and Nitro.
Decent kill.
Yeah, shout-outs to Yacht Club and Nitro, and shout-outs to, once again, our boy Vert, Jake Kaufman on the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Luukie getting his last dream stage, and he's going to be in Drill Knight's castle. Dream Knight isn't a thing yet, but you know, Yacht Club, free idea there. Dream Knight.
I would be shocked if Dream Night wasn't a dateable / smootable night in the hot Shovel Knight spin-off Date Night. Is that real?
You know, they've approached so many different genres with unique and fresh ideas. You know, a dating sim from Yacht Club, you know, it could happen.
So you can see, David getting sniped by crossbows. A lot of the hazards in this last stage are something that are going to force you to hide or take cover, which is, again, why the extra health is kind of needed, so you can ignore it and continue to plow through.
Yeah, we got a really solid run here. Both our runners are getting decent RNG when it comes to health. Not as much on necessarily the biomes that they're in or the enemies they're fighting, but just having health is such a big resource. And, I mean, you could come through here with nothing at all sometimes just because you never got offered it. So really, really glad to see that happen on the big stage for these runners, both making their way through masterfully through Drill Knight's castle.
I saw a tiny bit of the rubble on David's screen. Just to bring that up briefly, there is a mechanic where if you're lingering on any bit of the screen for too long, an instant kill drill will chase up on you. They don't often see that. There are some cases where you might see a little bit of it. It shouldn't be an issue to them. But
yeah, David, you gotta go faster, man. All right, Luukie down into the second level. David into the third level. Still anybody's race, depending on what these last couple levels give our runners, and then the final Drill Knight fight. Oh, and Luukie has got a rough stage here. He's got bombs falling on his head, along with these kind of meta obstacles of the drills coming down. But he's healthy, and he'll get through this. Still having access to that Phoenix Feather, which gives them an extra life if they need it.
Room.
Yeah, this is...
I don't know. That's never happened before.
Oh my god, David got like dig zipped diagonally.
With that
new speedrun tech here in person.
That's cool.
All right, Luukie down into the third stage here. He's got the spears, which is going to give him a lot of dirt to dig through. He'll make up some time here for sure.
New dig tech, world premiere.
I mean, just...
Okay, so David's coming up on the last boss, Drill Knight.
And time is going to end for David when Drill Knight takes his last hit and his health hits to 0. We will we'll call that out for you. The Drill Knight fight should be 3 phases. They can possibly skip through 1. And here comes Luukie. It's phase 1 for Drill Knight. Ooh, he got some good damage there.
Ooh,
we're going to skip the dirt phase. Time coming up for David. Time. What a fantastic Drill Knight kill. And we've got Luukie coming into Drill Knight right now. We're going to get to see it back to back here. This phase 1 of Drill Knight for Luukie. If you can pour the damage on him. We might see some dirt phase out of Drill Knight here. Now, this is the intended phase 2. And as soon as he gets down to 3 health, he will automatically transition to phase 3. And there he is. So Luukie time is coming up. You can get to him. Time for Luukie. What a fantastic race. Between these two skilled runners, you know, almost in the final boss at exactly the same time. Can't ask for more. I can't say enough about speedrunning these roguelites, and to have a run come this close between these two racers, I'm excited. I don't know what to say. What do y'all have to say about the run there, Luukie, David? Any thoughts you want to share?
I'm shaking in my chair right now, just a bit. There was some really scary stuff in Drill Castle, but I'm really, really happy that I needed neither the Phoenix Feather nor the extra accessibility health. I didn't need either of them for this run. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I think that run went great.
Luukie, how'd you feel about that?
I could have asked for more. I wish we could have showed off the mini boss in the grub pit.
David got the mini boss in the grub pit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we got that as well.
Nothing more to ask for.
All right. Well, it was a great run indeed. Y'all have any, Luukie, David, y'all have any shout outs before I send it back over?
So I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to my wife, who inspires me to be my best self every day. She's probably not going to like the spotlight being on her like this, but love you, dear. Yeah.
I'd just like to thank my friends in my chat for giving me the confidence to participate in this great event. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, or in my Discord.
All right, shout out to the Shovel Knight Discord. Also, Norcus for being a part of this. I'm Dan. Thanks for coming along, Moo, and y'all have a great rest of the marathon.
Thank you.
All right. Well, how about that race, everyone? Wasn't that absolutely amazing? I love that. I hope y'all love that too. We have a $10 donation from Sly Dante, who said, had to donate during the run of Shovel Knight Dig, one of my favorite games of last year. Good luck to the runners. This should be amazing. And indeed it was. Loved it. And once again, just a big shout out to all of y'all who have been donating for that Yakuza Super Boss Showcase. We are almost at $16,000, which means that we crossed that halfway mark to get us to $30,000 for the Super Boss Showcase. Amazing work, everyone. Let's keep it up. I'm still handing out tickets to the Yakuza Hype Train. All right, we will be taking a short break, so make sure to get cozy, fill up your water bottles, stretch your legs, whatever you need, and we'll catch all of you right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed a nice, cozy little break here and that you're all enjoying your day here so far at Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We have had some amazing runs so far. And we have many more coming up. But before that, let's check in on our donations. Y'all have been doing so great. We have a $50 donation from 01 who says, looking forward to the Yakuza Boss Showcase. Yakuza is such a great series, and seeing Amon get taken down is always entertaining. And if you want to see that boss showcase, we still have some time, so let's keep pushing, everyone. We are almost at $16,000 out of the $30,000 we need, which means we're already over halfway there. We are doing amazing. Let's keep speedrunning this donation total, y'all. We have $25 from Nishida of the Majima family, who says, Kiryu-san, the patriarch is really psyching himself up to fight you at your best, and I really don't want to see what he'll do if the incentive isn't met, so I pitched in what I could. Thanks so much, Nishida. We appreciate it. We also have a $25 donation from JD Torres, who says, can't wait for the Yakuza Kiwami run. I got introduced to the series thanks to a playthrough by a streamer and have been addicted to the series ever since. Good luck to all the runners in the runs to come. Coming back to those hype train tickets that I was handing out, we have $25 from Luukie13, who says, 5 tickets for the train, please. Destination, Yakuza. Choo choo. I got you. Here you go. 5 tickets for the train. And we have crossed that $16,000 mark, so we are well on our way to $20,000. How fast can we hit that $20,000, y'all? Let's get that train going. Let's get that train going. You are doing so great. We have a $20 donation from Cormick, who says, Yakuza is one of my favorite game series. It'd be rad to see the super bosses in Kiwami. I agree. Let's get it. We have $25 from Darula, who says, buying 5 tickets to the Yakuza hype train. Take that, Majima. And there are so many tickets to go around, so don't worry. This train is super long. We're not running out of tickets anytime soon. Keep those donations rolling, y'all. We also have a $25 donation from Kaiju Ashley, who says, we already got the karaoke incentive met. How can we not also get the boss showcase met? We gotta do this. And you're doing so well. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. You make this little hostie happy. And if you need any more incentive to donate, make sure to remember that all of this is going towards the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Once again, if you don't know what the Prevent Cancer Foundation is, it was founded in 1985 and is a US-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. You can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. All right, everyone. Next up, we have an interview with the runners of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Take it away.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cowabunga.
I mean, changed a lot. Compared to the single run, you have more fancy stuff to do, and also you have more enemies to beat. So the coordination, and of course, having a really good team and teammate affect a lot to the run and the time to splits.
Ooh, good question here. So patch 103 was something actually for the majority of the time we've been all playing on since the game came out with slight little changes that came along. But patch 103 is where the original like big time glitches were found with Raphael. Raphael is able to do a very specific super move that other individuals can do as well. But for some reason, the game would make enemies that had fall animations stun lock in their fall animation if you used it properly. And that saves you a lot of time, especially on certain bosses that have waves or cycles that will continue to keep on cycling out. That they're just going to now stay there, and you get to go ahead and beat up on them pretty easily. And it's really nice.
On top of that, too, the new patch has all kinds of different methods of playing. You can change enemies' health. You can change the settings. You can make it so that there's double health. You can make it so that you can only get taunts by building your meter naturally. And then one of the biggest changes to the game from the old version to the new version is actually the final Shredder fight. The final Shredder fight is completely changed. And in the new version, although it seems a lot more fun and everything, it is also a lot more RNG.
Also, a really good thing is changing a very specific stuff. In this game, you have the power storage in the current patch. You can do that in the current patch. For example, in the crank fight, you can storage the POW ability and then use it to the boss and kill him immediately. And that is not going to happen in this patch because that's not working here. I think Paul can answer this question. Paul, ¿qué strats o glitches serían como imposibles de mostrar en una maratón?
Tenemos un glitch bastante difícil que puede softblockear el juego, que sería en la parte del robot tortuga. Ese glitch es bastante arriesgado, así que hay que tener mucho cuidado en la run. Nada más que eso.
Yeah, he says one of the important glitches of the game is the stun lock, as Andrew said before. But one of the important bosses, the robot turtle, having a specific property, and if you mess her up, you soft lock the game. So it's really difficult to performance. And also, if you're doing it correctly, it's like, okay, you're saving like 20 seconds.
The run is over.
Let's do it.
The run is over.
For us, the same thing Paul said before, that thing.
Yeah, so I'd say the hardest thing in the run, honestly, is going to be when somebody makes a mistake covering for it. Because like they were talking about earlier too, having two good players is really crucial. And you've really got to be able to cover your guy's back if he makes a mistake on a move, so...
And to finish on that is it's also knowing when to stay patient in your spot where they do have their own backup versus when do you come over and help them because they're not going to be able to do their own backup and you cover them and then can move on to the very next scene.
All right. Well, that sounds like there's a lot to think about, particularly in the co-op setting here.
That's the difference between a good team and an amazing team. The coordination affects a lot here.
So as a co-op speedrun, when did you all start doing co-op speedruns together? And where does Shredder's Revenge rank kind of among those co-ops?
That's a really good question. For us, we started 2 years ago with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That's the game with Paul. We meet up and it's like, okay, we're both playing really good single play. Why not try co-op? Why not to try create new stuff? Why not to try some new glitches? And that game had a lot of extra mechanics. So when we discover we have a natural thing, it's like, okay, we need to play more games. We need to play more games. And every single one of them, we did always the same. And it's like, okay, we need to still enjoy co-op.
So for us, this guy started speedrunning probably, 5-6 years ago now?
2016
years
when
ago?
I started,
that long ago? So making me feel old. But he started running a long time ago. And for a long time, I was like, dude, I'm not a speedrunner. I play games for fun. And then one day I actually watched him play Turtles in Time for the SNES with another friend of ours. And I was like, hey, if there was a game I'd speedrun, it'd be that game. And then we just started playing Turtles games, and we went from Turtles 4 to Turtles 3 to Turtles 2 to Hyperstone Heist. And we just really got into speedrunning Turtles games. So to be here and representing another, Turtles game is just freaking awesome,
And Shredder's Revenge for us, I would say if it's not number one, it's 1B. If it's not number one.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that, because
Turtles
4 still holds my heart, but this game is so awesome. All the throwbacks to all the Turtles stuff too is just amazing. But yeah, for all the Ninja Turtles lovers out there, we're Ninja Turtles lovers,
big time.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that is all the time that we have. Thank you all for talking with me today.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And good luck in the race, guys.
Good
luck. And cowabunga.
All right.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that amazing interview. We are sure looking forward to the runs that we have coming up later today. And speaking of those runs coming up, we have seen those Yakuza donations coming in fast. We have a $5 donation from Elo who said, AGDQ is the one thing getting me through my workday today. Let's get this Yakuza Super Boss incentive. And we are doing amazing, y'all. Keep